It is 1 in the morning. The room is quiet. Your phone screen is the only light in the room. You are tired. But it is not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. It is a deeper exhaustion. The kind that comes from being ignored, from being talked over, from watching people with less discipline, less intelligence, and less control somehow walk through life with more respect than you. You have felt it. In conversations where nobody listens, in rooms where your ideas get stolen, in moments where someone talks to you in a tone they would never use with someone they fear. And later you replay it in your head. What you should have said, what you should have done. Why does this keep happening? Why do some people command respect before they even speak, while others fight for it every day and still lose? Tonight, that question ends. Because this is the last time you will look at the game of power without understanding the rules. Power is a language. Some people speak it. Most people do not even know it exists. And the brutal truth is simple. Most men lose respect before they even speak, not because they are weak, but because they carry themselves like they are asking for permission to exist. They shrink their voice. They rush their words. They leak their plans. They explain themselves to people who have not earned an explanation. And slowly, without realizing it, they place themselves at the bottom of an invisible game board. But a king moves differently. Not with noise, with control. Tonight you will learn 4 silent weapons. Your mind, your mouth, your moves, your money. Control these 4, and the world begins to treat you differently. Ignore them, and you will spend your life wondering why respect always seems to belong to someone else. Now here is the part that separates those who understand power from those who only wish they did. Everything begins with the mind. Most people walk through life with a mind that is not their own. Their mood changes every time someone criticizes them. Their focus collapses every time they open social media. Their confidence rises and falls based on opinions from people who have built nothing. Think about that. Strangers are controlling your emotional state. Does that sound like power, or does it sound like surrender? Your mind is the throne room. Who sits on that throne? You, or every voice that enters your day? The Roman emperor and Stoic strategist Marcus Aurelius once wrote something that sounds simple but carries the weight of a battlefield truth. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Read that again. Your life follows your thoughts. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life becomes chaotic. If your thoughts are disciplined, your life becomes disciplined. Power begins in silence, not the silence around you, the silence inside your head. When someone insults you, the average man reacts instantly. Anger, defense, excuses. He explains himself, he argues, he reveals everything he feels. But what did he just do? He revealed his cards. Life is a poker table. Every emotional reaction shows your hand. Kings never reveal their hand. They pause. They observe. They let silence do the talking. Think about Marcus Aurelius again. This man ruled an empire. Armies waited for his command. Enemies studied his every move. And yet his greatest battle was inside his own mind. Stoicism was never about peace. It was about control. Control over fear. Control over anger. Control over impulse. And the man who controls his impulses controls the room. Let me ask you something. Be honest. When someone disrespects you, do you react instantly? Or do you study the moment? Write it in the comments. Do you react or do you observe? Because most people stop listening here. The ones who keep going are the ones history remembers. Once you control your mind, you unlock the second weapon, your mouth. Words are power, but uncontrolled words are weakness. Most men talk too much. They explain their plans. They justify their actions. They try to make everyone understand them. But power does not beg to be understood. It moves forward. The Florentine strategist Niccolò Machiavelli understood this better than almost anyone. He wrote a simple line that terrifies naive people. Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. Most people misunderstand this. They think deception means lies. But in the world of power, deception often means silence. Information is currency. And most men give it away for free. They reveal what they want. They reveal what they fear. They reveal what they plan to do next. And suddenly, the entire room knows how to control them. Now look at the negotiation style of Vladimir Putin. Regardless of politics, one thing is clear. His communication is calculated. Short answers, long pauses, controlled tone. He does not rush to fill silence. Because silence creates gravity. When you speak less, people lean forward. When you reveal less, people speculate. When you pause longer, people become uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, power shifts. Words should move like chess pieces, each one placed with purpose, not scattered like spilled water. Here is a rule. Speak with intention, never speak with emotion. The quieter you become, the more others reveal themselves. People fear silence. They rush to fill it. They tell you their plans, their weaknesses, their insecurities. And suddenly you know more about them than they know about you. Tell me in the comments. Are you someone who speaks quickly, or someone who studies the room first? Because the third weapon changes the entire board, your moves. Weak men move loudly. They announce their goals. They broadcast their plans. They chase applause before results exist. But kings move in shadows. They let results appear without warning. Think about Steve Jobs during the early days of Apple Inc. Projects were hidden for months, sometimes years. Competitors had no idea what was being built. Engineers worked quietly. Teams operated in secrecy. Then suddenly a product appeared, and the world reacted. That is the power of invisible movement. If you announce your plans too early, three things happen. Some people copy you. Some people sabotage you. Some people quietly hope you fail. Jealousy loves early information. Silence kills interference. Picture life as an invisible chessboard. Every person is moving pieces. Some move randomly. Some move emotionally. A rare few move strategically. Those people study the board 10 moves ahead. They do not argue about the past. They prepare for the future. They move in silence. They let results speak. Most stop listening here. But the next part is where power becomes real, because the fourth weapon determines who actually builds influence. Your money. Most people treat money like a reward. Kings treat money like a weapon. The average man earns money and spends it immediately. New phone, new clothes, new distractions, temporary pleasure, permanent weakness. Power comes from delayed gratification. Money is stored energy. Every dollar saved is a soldier waiting for battle. Every investment is a worker building your empire while you sleep. Look at Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in history. But he did not build that power through loud displays of wealth. He built it through patience, through compounding, through discipline that lasted decades. While others chased luxury, he chased leverage. That is the difference between appearing rich and becoming powerful. Flashy spending attracts attention. Strategic investing builds kingdoms. And here is the brutal truth most people ignore. A man who cannot control his money will eventually be controlled by someone who can. Debt becomes chains. Consumption becomes dependence. And suddenly freedom disappears. Now here is the part that most people never understand. These four weapons are not separate. They are a system. Mind, mouth, moves, money. Control the mind and emotions disappear. Control the mouth and information stays protected. Control your moves and strategy becomes invisible. Control your money and independence becomes real. Everything connects. Everything compounds. And slowly something strange begins to happen. People treat you differently. You do not demand respect, but respect appears. Your presence changes the room. not because you are louder, but because you are calmer, not because you chase attention, but because you control yourself. Power recognizes discipline. Always. Let me ask you something important. Which one of these four do you struggle with most? Your mind, your mouth, your moves, or your money? Write it in the comments. Awareness is the first step. Action is the second. Transformation is the third. Most people stop after awareness. The few who act become dangerous. Now listen carefully. Weak men chase attention. Powerful men build influence in silence. This channel exists for people who are tired of playing the game blindly. People who want to understand the mechanics of respect. People who are ready to become disciplined enough to control themselves before trying to control the world. If this message reached you tonight, there is a reason. Maybe you are tired of being overlooked. Maybe you are tired of second-guessing yourself. Maybe you are tired of watching people with less control dominate rooms you should be leading. Then this is your moment. Join the people who choose discipline over comfort. Press like, subscribe. Become part of a community that studies power instead of pretending it does not exist. And in the comments, write this sentence. Not as a trend, as a decision. I choose power over pity. Remember this tomorrow morning when the world begins its noise again. Respect is rarely taken from the loud. It is quietly given to the disciplined.